What's good, everybody? It is your boy Underdog FlyK Clutch 24/7, and we are here doing an updated version of the best quarterback stacks in the game. And we're just gonna go right to it because this really hasn't changed from the last video that we did. If you guys want to see that video is right here. Will be linked at the end of this video as well. But it's pretty much didn't stem away from that because with CFM, it kind of just it doesn't change throughout the year. The players stay the same. It's just the meta. It just depends on what the meta is for Madden that year. And this year is definitely pass heavy. But it's also, it definitely depends on your scheme. So if your scheme goes by passing, I can set you up for pass. If it sets up for a run, I can set you up for the run. If you have certain overalls and can't upgrade certain things yet, then that's what is going to be upgraded with that. But it's really just scheming towards what you want to run. And if you want to have a run balanced, well, not run balanced, more a run heavy scheme, then I will show you guys that here. If you guys want a pass heavy scheme, yeah, I will show you that here. If you want pass defense with a little bit of run inside of it with abilities, then that's what I would give you. If you want to stack basically just for the run with a little bit of pass in there as well, I will help you guys out with that as well. But these are basically the abilities that you would use at the quarterback spot if you was to pass the ball. I'm just going to go ahead and put the abilities on in each slot, and then you guys can go ahead and pause the video to go ahead and show you guys the actual stacks that I would get. So I'm actually move my camera over here to this side right here. I think that's kind of perfect. So we're gonna go for certain people like this though. I will say you can keep certain abilities at a certain spot, like dashing Deadeye is definitely one that's gonna be what you call it, a three-tier ability. So from here and on will be like a three-tier ability. If they're here in the first two slots, you might as well keep it because you won't get them back again. But here, if you do not have enough for tactician or backyard quarterback, which is scrambler or improviser only, then you go ahead and put Hot Route Master in the first spot. Dashing will keep that there. Pocket Deadeye, Fearless Gunslinger. I'm not gonna lie, this is a very, very good stack to have as far as like you passing the ball. So you have Dash and Deadeye, so that means on the run you get to have it on the money. Pocket Deadeye, except for high passes and low. That says low, but you can only do it if you have it on classic passing. If you do have that, then this applies to you as well. You can have perfect accuracy on all balls, all unpressured throws. So think about it, all unpressured throws. That's why you put Fearless on with it. You put Fearless on regardless, but all unpressured throws, if you're in a pocket, is going to be accurate. So this is basically an inside Deadeye and an outside Deadeye on basically both of these guys is standing in the pocket, and this is throws under 40 yards outside the pocket. Hot Route Master to give you those extra routes, and Fearless, if somebody's in your face, then you're literally going to have you're not going to have any pressure. So look, you have Pocket Deadeye, unpressured throws while their feet are set in the pocket, and Fearless is immune to throwing penalties caused by defensive pressure while their feet are set in the pocket. So you put these two together, it basically cancels out, and then Gunslingers definitely help you get the ball out a lot faster. But if you if you're running out the pocket and staying in the pocket, Gunslinger is the best. If you are sitting in the pocket, then set feet lead would be one to have because their feet are set. So that means with pocket quarterbacks, things of that nature. And here it's completely up to you. If you want to help out with the run, you can put Truz on. If it's not banned, Omaha. If you want perfect accuracy even afterwards, boom, you have dots. So now it's not just under 40 yards, it's past that. You can have Pro Reese to kind of help you out. Really don't expect you to. But I think it's already equipped on them. Yeah, but Bazooka, it increases your throw power. So it doesn't help it be accurate. It just increases your throw power. So if you already have somebody with high throw power, then you go ahead and put this on. But that's completely up to you. And it's pretty much it for that. So that's it for a basic running quarterback. I mean, a passing quarterback. So here we go for a running quarterback. Now, here for a 99 overall, he would have Master Tactician. That's number one. Like I said, with Somebody as Lamar Jackson, he's the only person with improviser to 99, and with one more upgrade, he will have scrambler up to 99, so you got backyard QB, but it's way better to have master tactician. Master tactician is the #1 ability to have on him. Right here, if you're gonna prep for the run, fast break for quarterback runs, you should also have either spin cycle or bulldozer, depending on what quarterback you have. Most likely 100% it either will be spin cycle or jukebox. You see he already has jukebox on, so you can do this. Tight out is actually helping for the pass, but in one of these to definitely help you out with the pass, you definitely have to have gunslinger on. So you're gonna have fast break, so you have QB draws, QB runs, you know, like read options, things of that nature. You can have this on to actually give you better blocking. Spin cycles to help you out with spinning and juking. But like I said, you do not have the choice of having evasive with your quarterback, so you just can't do that. So you have to have the spin and juke on, or if you just want to spin or just want the juke, you take the other one off, and you can add a passing ability to help you out. Maybe fearless, maybe a threat detector. What else could help you out? Agile extender or anchored extender. So that means if somebody's blitzing you with the corners all the time, like you would DB fire or certain blitzes like that, you will break that first tackle. Sometimes this won't help you out as much, because if they break the tackle, that next tackle you might get might be a fumble, or it might break you into somebody else. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so it's completely up to you. But yeah, if you want, this will be the stack: fast break, spin cycle, jukebox, but still have enough to pass the ball with if you need to. So you have master tactician and gunslinger. And then here you always will have to keep Truz on, and you can have either Freight Train or Omaha. Like I said, I mean, Escape Artist isn't really like that good this year, so I wouldn't put that on. Bazooka maybe, but Truz, Omaha, you know, things of that nature that will help you guys out a lot. But if you do not want the jukebox, spin box, you just want a spin box, jukebox, spin cycle, if you don't want those on, like I said, just take one of those off and put in a sideline or an inside dead eye to kind of help you out. But this is basically the stack that I will use for a running quarterback, and you still have a balance with the passing quarterback you've seen with Josh Allen. So those two stacks for quarterbacks will be very, very good to help you. Now, let's get over to the running backs. Now, we're going to stay here in Baltimore and give you guys a power back stack. A power stack is what you will call it. But here for running backs, it's 100% the best thing to have on him is Tank. Armbar, if you want armbar, the best thing to do if you don't want armbar is to have Bruiser. It has truck and stiff arm abilities. Put both of those on. Definitely helps you out with the trucking and the air trucking and things of that nature. So Tank, Bruiser. I do love Backlash. I love Backlash. So think about it. You have Tank, which means you bounce off of a tackle. And with this, when you have a non-conservative tackle, when they try to hit stick you, they get tired as well. So all these people spamming hit stick, spamming hit stick, spamming hit stick, they will get tired. That's why I like it's an offensive deflator. So I will put that on. Or if you do not, you can add spin cycle or jukebox. Or if you have one of those rare running backs that's actually very, very good with elusive back as well, you should have that on as well. See, with Derrick Henry, all you gotta do is upgrade him 2 more times and he can have that evasive on him as well. So, but this is more for a power stack. So Tank, Bruiser, Backlash, and in my opinion, I would rather have either Steamroller, which it will help you regain some more forward momentum during tackles while traveling at high speeds. If you're going here and you trucking, if you get hit, it's basically added a balance beam. You know what I'm saying? You can add that onto there. You can add, I would say a jukebox. You know what I mean? No, actually, the spin is great this year, so you'll technically add spin to kind of help you out there. But the stiff arm, truck, Tank, Backlash, and you gotta add a spin in there as well. That'll be the best thing to have on them. And either is Freight Train or Truz. It's basically the best thing to have on them, or even Wrecking Ball. It's increase the success rate on the next truck and stiff arm. But in my opinion, I would rather have Truz or Freight Train on, because Freight Train increases the chance to break the next tackle. So basically, it's a first one free. And with first one free, it's not really the same thing. First one free kind of changed it now to where you get a successful fake out on the next juke, spin, or hurdle. So it's not really the same thing. this is a first one free for power backs. You know what I'm saying? So this is the best thing to have if you have this all-around power back that could eventually be as good elusively as power. So that's why Derrick Henry is the best running back in the game. Next up, we're going to go to Saquon Barkley. Okay, Saquon Barkley, he has everything that you need as well, but this is more for like an elusive. You try to make a flashy play, this is what you would have. So you'll have evasive on. You would also have, I would say, have bruiser on as well, tank, and you can have backlash. I will feel like that'll be the best thing to have for that. And then you can either have you just have Truz on. So if you do not want backlash on, you can add stuff to kind of help you out with route trees if your quarterback does not have ability. So you can have like a is it backfield mismatch or backfield? Where is that? You can have backyard halfback actually. Backyard halfback is one that you can put on to help out with the routes and things of that nature. I know running back apprentice is there as well, but excuse me, it was one ability that you could have on that could counter that. Better catch and track and route running. I mean, you could have that on. I think this right here is literally backyard halfback. Probably is a very good one to have, because even if you're going to run, like, he's a great pass catcher, I will have backyard halfback on. But backlash, I feel like backlash is still one of the best things to have on a running back, especially if they're trying to hit stick you. Tank, backlash is just a great thing to have on them all together. Bruiser, like I said, truck and stiff. And then you have juke and spin. So bruiser and evasive is a very great combination to have already. And then you add tank on top of that, and you add backlash. That's very, very good. But if you don't want to do backlash and you kind of want to help out your stamina, even when you get hit so much, you can have energizer, or even a very, very underrated one that I like to have on my running backs when a low overall is second wind. Second wind, you do have a chance to get all your stamina back when it's half depleted. So even when you get hit stick and you go all the way down to half, it could pop right back up to you having a full tank, and you can still go for a touchdown. I love this ability just to have it on, like, on the side. But if you have like a 80 to 85 overall running back, I would highly suggest to have energizer, second wind, and tank to have that on, or you have spin cycle, second wind, and that on. Or if you have a 90 overall, evasive, second wind, whatever, if you don't have tank upgraded at that time. But this will be the best thing to have for for basically running the ball with just, you know, speed, juking, all that, not with all power. Now we're gonna go to Christian McCaffrey, and I'm gonna give you guys the right ones for this is what I was looking for. It was Backfield Master. If you have Backfield Master, it will help you out with the hot routes, better route running, and catching upon linemen and linebackers. This is what you will have when you're coming out the backfield. So evasive, Backfield Master. We take out the leapfrog. You can put a human joystick on, but once again, we're gonna have tank on. You don't need oh, so this isn't the playmaker one. Okay. But you could have playmaker on if you want that on. If not, then once again, like I said, you can have the backlash on. You can have the backyard halfback. So either backyard halfback or backfield master. This one, it gives you 4 additional hot routes, better route running, and catching against linebackers. And then backyard halfback will give you hot routes before the play and playmaker. So backyard halfback is basically a hot route master and playmaker. Backfield master is basically hot routes, route running, and catching. So basically, if you I didn't mean to get out of that. So basically, if you want to put it together, the backfield master is basically a hot route master and a backfield mismatch, which gives you better catching traffic and route running against linebackers and linemen. This is catching against linebackers and linemen in this hot route and better route running. But if you do want to add the backfield mismatch, there's better catching when it comes out of the backfield against linebackers and linemen. So it's basically one thing. So it's up to you which one you'd rather have. You can also have grab and go, which means you can quickly shift momentum, change direction, and without sacrificing speed, which is basically a human joystick, but it's after a rack after the catch, run after catch. So that's up to you. Or you can have matchup nightmare. You can win contested catches. You can kind of just boost up your catching even more with having all this on. But here, in my opinion, like I said, you can have backlash on, you can have that second wind on, you can have short end elite, which is very good as well. So if you like to do Texas routes, end routes, hitting him in the curl, you can have short end on, or you can have short out. That would be great if they had short elite, so you don't have to have like either one, because with short out elite, it's with flats. So I would just suggest short end elite. So short end elite, tank, evasive, and backfield master is the best things to have, because you get the hot routes, he gets the best catching, he can do jukes and stuff after the catch, he will not get hit with tank, and he has short end elite. So whenever you go ahead and hit him out the backfield, you can go ahead and throw it to him. And now wheel routes is the other thing, but like I said, it's less than 10 yards. So that's where the deep end elite and all the other stuff comes from. So that's not gonna affect that. It's just gonna affect anything under 10 yards. And here, once again, you can have Truz, or I mean, you could have ankle breaker. It pretty much doesn't really matter to have ankle breaker on. But like I said, you can have Truz, you can have satellite on, but 100% it just got to be Truz. Truz is the best thing to have on a running back. And now let's get over to the wide receivers. Now, this is the stack that I will give you for an outside receiver. Then I'm gonna give you guys for a slot, and then help you out even with running the ball. So here with Justin Jefferson, all I'm gonna do is just keep adding this onto it. You guys are gonna see exactly what I mean in a second. This right here is the God stack. So what we did is put route tech on, so he has high success rates when creating separation on the last cut of any route. So post route, slant, any type of route. So no matter what route it is, as soon as he makes a move, that's when the route tech kicks in. Short elite is catches more consistently with less than 10 yards. Mid elite is patches in between 10 and 20 yards. And deep, where it's 20 plus. So basically anywhere where he catches it is going to be a catch. No matter if it's outside the numbers or inside the numbers. It's the glitchiest thing in the game. I'm not going to lie to you. You catch it, it's going to light up. So he's going to hold on to it. Now, this will help the wide receiver catch more when it goes up against zone knockouts or man knockouts, but it's not going to do it every single time. So if you go down in time and you light up and then they hit you, you're going to most likely catch it more with these abilities on than you will if you go up against certain zones. So I'm not going to say that, oh yeah, this is the big counter to zone knockout. You still got to swerve your wide receiver away from the zones. You still got to throw it away from the zones, things of that nature. You can't just go up and expect it not to not break up when you get hit. And then with double me, 100% double me is the best thing to have on a wide receiver in the game. Where in MUT right now, it is an ability. Yes, double me is an ability in MUT right now. So it's very, very overpowered. So you got to have that on. Or if you want to, you can have Yak 'em Up. Yak 'em Up is basically the same thing. Guaranteed to break the first tackle post catch. Okay. So basically it's a first one free right after the catch. You can have that on if you want. But 100% it got to be double me. So that means when that is lit up, you throw it up to him, most likely he's going to catch a majority of the time. And it's just one-on-one coverage. But it is sometimes when you go up against a zone knockout, it will sit here and knock it out if they sit here and wait instead of go up with you. So sometimes, yeah, it won't work out. But that's the best thing to have on basically any wide receiver. If you get all your wide receivers to have this is the best stack to have. Now, if you don't want route tech, I'm not going to lie, red zone threat is very good. Red zone threat is one thing I could add in there. You can add an evasive in there. You can add spin cycle, because a lot of the meta right now is having people that has good spin and just spinning out of nowhere, like the Judkin spin is really meta right now. So you can have that, but that's pretty much what you would have if you do that. Now we're going to go down to AJ Brown. AJ Brown, we're going to help out more with the run blocking. This would be more of a run blocking scheme. So here you're going to have run off elite, which means that when they go up and like acting like they're going for a pass, the corner is going to go and follow the wide receiver, so the running back can go free. You can have that on. You can also have, where is that, right here, honorary lineman, and also what you can have on him to help him out with the run game. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it for the run game. Yeah, but as long as you have these two on, run off elite and honorary lineman, then you can add maybe mid elite. You know what I'm saying? You can add like a mid elite or something like that. Maybe backyard wide receiver to kind of help you out. Or depending on where you set him up, you could put him in a mid in elite or a deep in elite. You know what I'm saying? Or anything past 20 yards. I think the best thing is to just have deep in. So deep in, honorary lineman, and run off elite. So that means, yes, he's going to help you out with blocking. But then when you really need to pass the ball, anything past 20 yards in the middle of the field is going like in between the numbers, like here instead of like the outsides. You know what I mean? Everything here in the insides, that's all him. So he can still be able to catch the ball. And they do not have Vanguard for wide receiver. So the best thing to have if you are going to be blocking is I feel like it's still double me. It's still double me or nothing. Yeah, I feel like it's still double me or nothing, because anything else after this kind of doesn't help. If they had Vanguards at wide receiver, that would be the best thing to have, but 100% they got to be double me. Now we're going to go into somebody that is, let's just say Tyreek Hill, that's going to be more in the slot. So 100%, once again, we are going to go with the deep elite. We are going to go with the mid elite. We are going to go with the short elite. And then you're going to have evasive, or basically evasive. Evasive is probably the best thing to have here in the slot. And then if you want, double me. So basically the difference is with Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill, one is on the outside and you have that route tech. So basically you just have all routes and things of that nature. Or you can have somebody as fast with like Tyreek Hill, have that same stack on, and now you have evasive on. So if you're here in the slot, I mean, you can have whatever you want. Literally anything that you want. Just add evasive or add the other one. And that's basically what you'll have in the slot. Like I said, you have all of this on your wide receiver, you are unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? You basically built the best wide receiver you have, especially to catch the ball. But also here, instead of this, you could have, where is it at? You could have honorary linemen. You could have all these elites with honorary linemen. So if you do want to run the ball, this is how balanced it could be. And you already know that he's already shifty and things of that nature. Just go ahead and get sticky. You know what I mean? And still have that ability for something that you possibly could need. Because him with honorary lineman, I'm not going to lie to you, he doesn't have that high blocking. So boosting him up with honorary lineman will definitely help you out. So that's basically the best thing to have on a wide receiver for blocking and for route running. And if you want to do jet sweeps with him and things of that nature, take out the honorary lineman and then go to put evasive on. Very, very simple. That's all you needed for that. Now, for the tight ends, it's basically the same exact thing. So let's go to Travis Kelce, show you guys the same thing with him. What you would need here is route tech. You would need route tech, 100%. You would need deep in elite. I think deep out elite is already right there. Yeah, so deep out elite. And you can have tank on. So you have route tech, deep in, and deep out, and tank. So that means any passes past the 20-yard line, he's going to catch it. Route tech to help him out with his routes. And with tank, you guys know that if you try to hit stick that man, he's not going to go up. You can have double me on, or you can have Vanguard on. It's completely up to you, because then when you finally pass the ball and then you want that extra blocker to help you out, Vanguard will be right there. So now we are going to go over here to George Kittle and basically do it for blocking. So here, yes, they did have the run protected and the pass protected, but it basically reduces a rusher's chance to get a block shed or a run shed while blocking. So basically, it kind of just boosts them up in certain situations. If you know they're going to be running the ball and they have abilities on, you could put this on that can slow them down, but it doesn't mean it's not going to stop them. You know what I mean? Same things like Matador here. There's like basically like O-line abilities that you can have on him. Secure Protector is definitely one. You definitely got to have that on. I would suggest like a deep in the lead to kind of help out right there. What else to help out with blocking? I mean, you would need tank. So I'll put tank in the first one. And then here, if you're going to help blocking and things of that nature, you'll have run protected on. So that means you still got tank, you got run protector to help with the run, you have secure protector to help with the pass, you got deep in to help you when you actually do pass the ball, and you have tank with the hit sticks, and then you have Vanguard on. It's basically the best thing to have. You know, those 10-yard receptions, you go in, you have that deep end, you build this up to build the rest of the stuff up with that tank. Okay, and if you have a tight end that can have certain stuff on, like tank and, you know, secure protector or certain things like that, you can move them to fullback and you can use him in the backfield as a fullback. That definitely will help out as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it for tight ends. But if you got somebody here as a superstar, I'll go ahead and do it a superstar as well. Like, secure protector is at 85 blocking. There's not really a lot of tight ends that got 85 blocking. So if you do have one with 85 blocking, that's where secure protector is definitely going to help out at. But here, if you are to do it with this, once again, here in this spot, you got to have tank in the first one. You're going to have deep out or deep in this spot. You could do the deep out, deep in, and tank. You could do that 100%. Or you can add deep out and red zone threat or route tech. That will be the kind of a stack to do for that as well. Or if you want, just take out the deep out, deep in elite, put in a route tech and put in a red zone threat, or just keep these on. It's completely up to you. Now let's go to the offensive line. Here for the left tackles, really simple. Nasty streak, post up. Not edge protector. I'd rather have secure protector. And if your league allows it, omniscient, which means it's basically a threat detector and an identifier at the same time. So you know on every single play who the user is, and on third and fourth down, you guys can see where the blitzes are in every moment. So omniscient, secure protector, post up, nasty streak is the best thing to have on your tackles and guards. But if you only need one person to have omniscient on, so if you do not have it on one of your guards or one of your tackles, if you have somebody that has 4 abilities that could use an extra one, don't use it on somebody that has less than that. You know what I mean? So I would suggest if you do have guards, the only difference is with a guard is that you have puller elite, just because you want to run halfback base, you know, things of that nature. Put that on. If you want help with like sheds and things of that nature with the pass or certain things like that, you could put the pass and run protector on if you do not have secure protector. Especially in the inside, you could have run protected, pass protected combo on and use other stuff. But I suggest having those on to help you out a lot. So basically this is the stack, 100% this is stack. And then if you have the guard, just put this out for a puller elite. And that should be it for the offensive lineman. It's very simple for that, but you just put on whatever that you can to, you know, help out. And assuming that you're in leagues where you do not get to have all these abilities on, and some that you do have abilities on, it's just going to be even more cracked. It's going to look like mud, but it's more controlled, things of that nature. But that's what you'll do for guards and tackles. It's just basically changing one ability. Whatever Trent Williams has is basically the best thing that you have. And like I said, if you have like 90 overall superstar or anything else underneath of that, run protected, pass protected is basically a good thing to have one as a budget before you have anything else on. Or maybe a pass protected nasty streak, run protector nasty streak, you can add that combination on as well. Just make sure that you just keep yourself at a good spot until you get all your other abilities up there. So let's go ahead and go to the D ends and D tackles. First, we're going to go ahead to Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is basically going to have a beautiful stack here. Now, I will tell you guys this. The reason why I am putting all of the front 7 all in one is because you can mix and match them to kind of help you out a lot. So, what you can do is have your outside linebackers at left end. You can have your left end or right end at D tackle. That's what you can have when you're doing your subs and things of that nature, when you're going into CFM and things of that nature, and what you can do in MUT as well. But this is what you will have to have if you are going to keep them on the edge. So I will show you guys that both here in the left end and on the outside linebacker spot. So instead of edge threat, you always will have edge threat elite if it's there. In my opinion, double or nothing. Inside stuff and no outsiders. Those are the best things to have, especially if you're on the end, you have no outsiders. Especially if you shift your line over, they will become a little bit more inside guys, so inside stuff will definitely help. Edge threat elite, you can get pressure off the edge, and you could get what you call it, and you can get QB pressure, and double or nothing. But somebody went off in my comments saying that double or nothing is basically useless when you have to use all these resistance points and stuff to use it. Not gonna lie, when you will get those back when you get sacks and things of that nature, especially if you add on BOGO, you add on instant rebate. See, you were funded a pass rush point. That's what he was trying to get at, where if you have double or nothing, you gotta pair it up with stuff like that. When sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, you can easily just keep this there if you really just want that dominant win. If you want to, it's completely up to you. But if you want to be that person where you kind of want to have like that extra BOGO, you gonna want to have unpredictable, or what you call it, anything else on there, maybe like an El Toro. But look, El Toro works when your pass rush points are full, so that means it uses your whole bar. Instant rebate, you get it back when you successfully shed blocks, and you shed that block with the edge straight, you get a pass rush point back. So I mean, those are things that you will kind of like the combine together, is like double or nothing, instant rebate, things of that nature. And here with this ability, I love defensive rally on one of your D linemen. So if you have like a D tackle that has like 2 or 3 abilities, you can stash a defensive rally on for all of your D linemen on any 3rd or 4th down. You'll get an extra pass rush point. So that means if you do get to like, you have 1, you get to 3rd down, then that double or nothing will go there. That's why defensive rally on one of your guys while everybody else has double or nothing definitely helps you out, because then you don't have to worry about that extra pass rush point, because you're going to get it just for being on 3rd and 4th down. You could have unfakeable, you could have secure tackler here on the D-line as well. It's completely up to you. But interior threat, we're going to get to that in a second. You could actually put that here on the left end, but I will get back to that in a second. But that's what you would have on the outside if you're at an end. Now, let's just say you have a Micah Parsons that's basically a utility. The only thing that you can't do with him is put him at D tackle. So what you would do here is you keep the edge threat on. You would have mid zone here. You would have pick artist, and you would have either no outsiders or so either you'll have no outsiders or you'll have inside stuff. So boom, you have all this on. So basically it helps you out with the pass rush, and it will kind of help you out with the going back in coverage too. So if you don't put them in a zone in the middle, and you put them out in the flat to cover underneath, you can put them in a flat zone knockout. So that means you put your purples on 5s and 10s. This would help out with the flat zone knockouts. And you can go ahead and catch picks, D-line picks, things of that nature with pick artists here on the line. So if you want pick artists on the line, I would suggest putting your guys at outside linebackers to put them back at end, which means you put their position at outside linebacker, and then in the depth chart or in a certain places where you can substitute players at, put your outside linebackers in at the end. So that means you can still have edge rushing abilities, things of that nature, and still have those pass rush abilities. So you still have the inside stuff. You still have all this other stuff that you can have in here. You can have the swim clubs, all this other stuff that you have in here. You don't have, and stress specialist, another one that I think is very, very sneaky. Stress specialist is very, very good, especially on the edge. I feel like you definitely need it. Well, not definitely need it. It will definitely spark off at random times. I feel like it's one you can sneak up in there. You know what I mean? But that's what you would do with your outside linebackers. Now we are going to go back. Let's just go here to Myles Garrett, for example, and let's go ahead and use him for the inside. So that means the end and D tackle. So that means you can have the stress specialist. You can have here at the first slot, you will have interior threat. Here you will have the double or nothing, and you would have inside stuff right there. So stress specialist is, with this ability, can still tackle effectively while trying to strip the ball. So that means there's no penalties or anything of that nature when you do have the stress specialist there. It definitely helps out. Inside stuff, double or nothing, interior threat. That means the pass rush moves is more dominant while rushing the interior of the D line. And like I said, if you have a D tackle or anybody that's going to play any inside and you kind of need like that help, that's when you go ahead and put that defensive rally on to help out the whole rest of the D line. So not only if it gives it to the rest of the D line, it gives it to him as well. So then that means you can have your double or nothing work. So you can have the defensive rally, or you can have stress specialist, or if you really want to, you can have under pressure. But if some leagues where every quarterback has abilities, under pressure is useless because everybody's going to have fearless. Nobody's going to, like, there's really, that's the only counter to it. But if they do not have a quarterback with that put under pressure on, and it's definitely going to show work. Now, you can have run stopper on. That means you don't have to use a spin a point on shed attempts, which definitely helps out too. So with inside stuff, that means they don't spin a point if you have that run stopper on with it. So that's another one that you can do there. And I forgot about the X Factor. Unstoppable Force is literally one of the best. Another one is Relentless. When you make sacks or tackles, their rush moves attempts are free. I like you use that a little bit as well. Also, Blitz, all opposing blockers has their resistance bars wiped out, so that means they don't even have to spin a point. Like, literally, as soon as they get on them, they're just going to push them out the way. Push them out the way. Blitz is just there. So, it's up to you which X Factor you want to use, but that's what you will do if you want your edge in on the inside. So, now we're going over to D tackle to go to Chris Jones to show you guys what you can do as a pure D tackle. So, pure D tackle, the defensive rally, double or nothing. You got interior threat, and you got inside stuff. That's one of the best ones to have on there as well. If you don't want to use double or nothing and you want something different, you can add stress specialist. Once again, you can have security protector if you want that as well. You can have I don't suggest goal line stuff, because then that means you have to wait until you get into the goal line to use that. You can add Stonewall. Stonewall is also another one that you can use on any of the D linemen. So if they do get hit, they're going to get hit right there. Like, you're not going to get tackled and then go get some extra yards. You're going to be stood up right there. So that's another one that you can use. And again, secure protector secure tackler on the lines definitely helps out as well, because if you got the Derrick Henrys of the world, you got the Tanks of the world, you get hit with a secure tackler, you're getting hit right there. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that you could add to there. But like I said, these are the best ones to have. And Unstoppable Force on the D lines definitely help out as well. Now, the outside linebackers, either you are going to be using them or you're going to have them on the line. So you like Max Crosby, Jared Verse, you got TJ Watt, you got these guys here that's normally on the D line. That's definitely going to help out. And then you got them that has some type of pass coverage to help out. So you can have the edge. So look, you can also have lurk artists, but lurk artists, literally everybody has lurk artists in MUT. But here in CFM, you only get it at a 99 overall pass coverage. So I'm not going to lie. Lurk artist is basically a lurker, pick artist, acrobat all in one. So it makes jumping 180-degree INTs while lurking in the zone in the middle of the field. Have a graded INT rate and don't tire at their INTs. Why do that when you can just have pick artist or you just have lurker? You know what I'm saying? 180 direction while looking in the middle of the field. Literally the same thing that it just said with this. So it's a lurk artist and a pick artist. I mean, it's a lurker and a pick artist all together. Yes, it's there all together, but you have to have a 99 overall. You know how hard it is to have a 99 overall pass catcher? The only 99 overall pass catcher you can have is Fred Warner. Fred Warner is at 96 overall. And then after that, you can have that pass coverage at 99. Nobody else is even close to having pass catch at 99. See, pass coverage even with Micah Parsons at 85. He's the closest guy other than Roquan Smith that has pass coverage up there, and he's at a 91. So really, just have pick artists on. Just have lurker. Or if you really want to, just move your linebacker up to safety and then move him back down to the line, back into the D line. It's up to you. Up to what the league allows you to do. But that's why lurk artist isn't really that much impressive to be used. So really just use a lurker or use lurker and pick artist at the same time. Mid zone knockout, and you can have a flat zone. This will help out literally anything under 10. I mean, anything under 20 yards is basically all yours. Lurker and pick artist. And you can have the avalanche on. You can have shutdown. I believe shutdown is one of the best X factors to use on defense, especially with passing the ball, because it gives you tighter coverage and interceptions on contested catches. They give you that as a lot. You can have momentum shift. You could do that. Mind reader is basically film study. That's most likely going to be banned in your league. Or you can have selfish. All you got to do is just make a hit stick, and then all the rest of your players on your team has an X factor, but it's only for 2 people. So yeah, you can have this on if you do not want lurker and pick artist. Easily take that off to put a deflator on, Or if you want, you can put your middle linebackers at end, so you can also have no outsiders. You can have inside stuff, you know, things of that nature, if you do not want your guy up there in the middle lurking. So that is up to you completely. But yeah, shutdown, zone hawk is two that you can have up there, and avalanche. But it's very hard to get avalanche. You gotta have certain overalls to have avalanche. So let me see if avalanche is here for Roquan. See, you have to have a 95 run stopper to get avalanche, and I'm pretty sure with Roquan he needs one more upgrade. So there's not a lot of people that can have avalanche. So if you have it, get it. That's why Fred Warner is very good. That's what you will do with that. So you can also have your middle linebackers at end. You can have your outside linebackers at end. You can have your ends at D tackle. You can not put your outside linebackers at D tackle. That's why you got to put them at end. You cannot put your middle linebackers at D tackle. You got to put them at end. So that's what you will have when you have your ends. And last but not least, let's go ahead to your DBs. Here at DB, it's plain and simple. It is very plain and simple what you have on your DBs. Here, as soon as you upgrade it at a 90 zone, deep zone knockout for your corners. 100% the best thing to have on. Then you have your pick artist, mid zone, and then this you can do whatever you want. You can either have the flat zones here at this point, or, I mean, you could put tip drill, you could put one step ahead. So you can have mid zone, deep out, pick, and one step ahead. Those are the best things to have, especially if you're in man coverage. They help you out with the moves in man coverage. Got the pick artist, this all blends together. You can have shutdown, or you can have universal coverage. It's completely up to you. Universal coverage definitely have an advantage over shutdown, but in my opinion, I like shutdown. And also, deep zone knockout does not, it's just not used at safety. So that's why a lot of people have their corners, there's safeties at corners so they can get deep zone knockout to put them back in safety. So if you're doing that, then you can have this stack on as well, or you can have, no, I'm pretty much sure that this is what you will have anyway. So if you are going to keep them at corner, then I would suggest just having, if you have it there, just have it on. That's the best thing to have. This is the best stack. Okay, if you do have like just a 95 overall, just have your mid zones, pick artist one step ahead if you do have it. If not, mid zone, pick artist, deep out zone KO, or deep out zone KO, mid zone KO, and flat. You can do that. One step ahead, mid zone pick is probably one that you definitely have, but this is the best stack in the game right here. At cornerback is 100% the best. And this is the best stack to have if you're up top as well. But if you are at safety and want to keep them up there at safety, best thing to have is, where is it at? Is it already on? Yeah, it's already on. So you'll have deep out zone KO, deep in zone KO. So that means if your safety is out there in the cover 4, he's going to use it the inside and the outsides and get that knockout as well. Pick artist, and you'll have mid zone. This is the best ones to have on them. Shutdown and universal coverage to do right there. Now, if you do not want to use that, you can easily go and help out with the man as well. So instead of deep end, you can have medium route. You can have deep route knockout. So you can do this as well. So you have mid zone and you have deep out zone KO. And you got deep route KO and mid route KO. So no matter if they're in man, no matter if they're in zone, they're going to knock the ball out. Only difference is with deep out zone KO and deep route KO, other than the obvious is one is man and one is zone, is that deep route KO basically is a deep zone KO, where deep out zone KO is only for the outside of the numbers. You see what I mean? So it's completely up to you which ones you want to do. You do lose the pick artist, but you get so many knockouts with this. It just doesn't even matter. If it's just over there to that side, if you man somebody up, put him up inside of his zone, it's going to get a knockout. It's completely up to you. But if you don't want that deep knockout, then go ahead and put pick artist back on. So that means you get deep, you get mid for zone and that. But if you're up at safety, I'm not gonna lie, you really don't need mid zone KO. This is more like a corner. About to say, like, this is more of a corner. So that means for a corner, actually, let me go back because this is more for a corner. So let's just go to sauce, right? So this was the other stack that I was trying to get at, but I totally forgot about. Boom. So medium to mid and zone. So that means what is man or zone, and then deep route and deep zone. And then you can have shutdown on. So that means there's no pick artist, but you get a knockout no matter what. Now you could take out medium route KO and add a one step ahead to still match up with all this going on, or you can just have the medium route KO and have all this on. This is more for the corners than it is for zone, but also if you do have it for a safety to come into the box or even play in the slot, you can have this ability stack on to help you guys out as well. And last but not least, we're going to go to a corner that is going to be in at the slot. So the slot, you could have bench press on, because if they're in man coverage and you pressing them in the slot and you want to go ahead and cause some like harm, put bench press on, put mid zone on, put mid zone on, mid route on, and then you can have your pick artist on. This will basically help you out in the slot. And with bottleneck, when they enter the zone, they highly likely dominate when any man press encounter. So with the bench press, now bottleneck is going to throw you in the dirt, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't want bench press on, then you can easily go inside shade, outside shade. So anything inside the numbers, they're just going to basically, they're going to be faster to do it. Or you can have zone chuck. If you're pressing them in there right here and you're in the zone, you're backing up, push them away, that helps. That's basically a bench press for zone. Okay. Now you could get freaky. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have chuck out and bench press. So that means you just chucking people out when it's a zone or a man, mid zone and pick artist. It's completely up to you, but it just makes it up to what you need to have on. And a little sneaky one, if it's in here, it is not in here for corners. They do not have deflator. But if you do want to put a safety at in the slot to kind of help you out with blitzes and things of that nature, go ahead and put deflator on. You put deflator, you get mid zone, and you will get deep out. I mean, not deep out, and also with what else can you put in the slots? So you got purples on the outside. I mean, I guess deep out kind of works past 20 yards, because if you think about it, you put a purple at 20 yards, that's basically a deep zone knockout. So you could put that on them, do this, and if you're rushing the quarterback, it's going to cause the quarterback to get fatigued very, very easily. And plus, if you're having run fits too, whoever's running the ball, and you have that, and technically you can have secure protector on if you have a full X factor safety at the slot. You can do this as well. You can have secure protector, deflator, mid zone, deep out. Have it all on your slot. But like I said, if you had a corner up top, you cannot put your corner in the slot without him being if you want your corner to be up top at safety, that's what the abilities will be. If you want a slot corner, then you will have to have a corner in that slot. I really don't know if I'm making sense when I say that, but let me try that one more time. So let's just go back over here to Jalen Ramsey. Right here in the slot, you can have short, mid, pick artist, deep out. But remember, you cannot get deep zone knockout at safety. So that means here at this spot, you gotta take the pick artist out, put this here, put that there. So this is deep zone knockout. Anything past 20 yards is gonna help out. But you can also do this and that. So now anything past 20 for these two will work, this and that. But you guys can see the one thing that you're missing is that deflator. So would you guys rather have deep route knockout, or would you rather have deflator? Especially if you're blitzing, you can do that. So if you want your slot to have deflator but still have like the deep zone knockout, then that means you have to put deep out zone, deep in zone, deflator, pick. You see what I mean? Or you have the corner that has deep zone KO, have that on with pick, all that. This is what you will have to have with that. So that's what I was trying to get at with that. Hopefully that makes a lot more sense than what I did just try to explain it as. But yeah, and if you're in the box, another thing, if you are in the box, let's just do Derwin James for example. Derwin James in the box, if you're using him, 100% is going to be pick artist. You could do deep end zone KO and mid zone, and if you have that last one out there in that last spot, you could easily have deflator if you really want to. You can have a crusher if you want to, if you know you're going to bring up hit sticks. Secure protector, another one they definitely can have on, but I would suggest this on with the secure protector. If you do not put him in the deep zone, then take that out and put in either deflator or secure protector. This will be your user, and it will definitely help out a lot. And then once again, you can use universal coverage, put there in that spot. And last but not least, at kicker, I just did not want to show up his stats. That's just not what I asked for. But last but not least, with the kicker, only thing that you will do here for your kicker to kind of help you guys out is just put on these 3 abilities. It's the best thing to have on them. Is focus kicker, zen kicker, and clutch kicker. Those are the best things to have on them. Do not do precision kicker. It just basically, you can see the whole kicking arc. Only reason why you'll have position kicker is if you're putting that on your punter, just so you know exactly where it's landing and put it like in the field. You do not need this when you're kicking. Now, if you realize that you cannot kick it, I mean, that's on you. But zen kicker, focus kicker, you just have a slow kicking meter no matter where you line up at. And clutch kicker, when somebody tries to ice you and call a timeout, you're not going to be affected by it, and it's going to be close. So that's the best thing to have on them with kicker. Same thing with punter. Like I said, you can have you can have zen kicker, focus kicker, and kicking arc is what you'll have on that. But that's pretty much it, man. Like, I gave you guys an updated meta on this. Secure protector is definitely helping out the running backs that have all this tank and all the things of that nature, helping out with the pass, helping out with the zone, things of that nature. And another thing, that's another thing that I wanted to add. So if you do see somebody at corner, right? You see somebody at corner have those runoff elites. To kind of counter that, you do need to take out one of these and add in on the ball. On the ball is less likely to be fooled by wide receiver runoffs. So that runoff elite where the wide receiver goes up acting like it's a route and you're just following it. On the ball, he's like, oh wait, no, this ain't it. Boom, I'm gonna put focus on the ball more than that. That's the only counter to that. But it's very, very rare that you see somebody put a runoff elite on a wide receiver. But this is the only counter to that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go and leave a like, comment down below other stuff you guys like to see, subscribe if you guys are new, and as always, folks, peace out.